Hey, yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good? Boxing Source checking in here. And I am here to talk about the news from the WBA. Looks like the WBA has denied Yordenis Ugas' request to not go ahead and face the mandatory challenger for his super championship that he won against Manny Pacquiao in August of this year. The plan was to see if he could have a fight with Errol Spence Jr. for the WBC, IBF, and WBA titles, but the WBA just had the judgment to say, no, you're going to go ahead and you're going to have this fight between Stanionis and defend your title, and you also have the Jamal James fight that's coming up there, where Jamal James is supposed to be defending his regular title against Radzab Butayev. And then the winners of those two fights were supposed to face each other to consolidate the belts there for the WBA, and so that they would have one champion in the welterweight division. But seems like there might be a little bit of a plan in place, as if y'all checked out Errol Spence's Twitter, there was a post that he put down there that says money talks, and he has an emoji of cheese being put in to a trap. So maybe you could see a little bit of a plan where maybe Eamontis Stanionis gets step-aside money in order for a fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas to happen later in 2022. Now, if that'll work, who knows? You still have the thing where Jamal James still has his fight with Butayev with that regular title. But, you know, if you could have an instance where Errol Spence Jr. comes back and fights Yordenis Ugas for those unified titles, that would be something, because, of course, the original thing was supposed to be for Errol Spence Jr. to fight Manny Pacquiao for those three titles, but with Errol Spence having that eye injury that took him out of that fight with Manny Pacquiao, Yordenis Ugas ended up being in that fight. He ended up defeating Manny Pacquiao by decision to win or basically defend that WBA title, so to speak. And so now he is the WBA super champion. And as of right now, you have the whole thing with the WBA trying to do a 4-man tournament to consolidate the WBA belts. But it's going to be a wait-and-see approach to see if you actually go through with that fight between Yordenis Ugas and Eamontis Stanionis for Ugas' belt, or if we could see Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas for the WBC, IBF, and the WBA Super Championship. So that remains to be seen. It's going to be probably a couple of weeks before we get more on this, but I feel like, if they could go ahead and have Eamontis Stanionis step aside there, then we would have that fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas for those three belts. That's what I got here in reference to this topic. Be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source for updates on boxing news and other things here. We really appreciate it. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.